Meghan and Harry, y'all owe me a serious chunk of change that loan for your Montecito mansion. If it ain't paid back in 30 days, I'll have no choice but to take this to court.
Tyler Perry didn't need to raise his voice to command attention. The entertainment powerhouse, known for his climb from nothing to global success, surprised listeners during a December 2025 radio segment. According to widely shared public discussion, he directly addressed an unresolved financial issue involving Meghan and Harry, stating that money connected to the Montecito home still needed to be settled. He added that if it wasn't resolved within 30 days, legal steps could follow, said calmly but firmly. Those comments spread fast across social media and entertainment news, shifting how many people viewed the couple's California lifestyle. For years, the image was all sunshine, privacy, and high-end living, a clean break from royal expectations. But online chatter suggested there might be financial pressure behind the scenes, with unanswered calls and growing tension quietly changing the tone of the relationship. Industry talk claimed the arrangement began as generosity, offering short-term help during a major life transition. Over time, some observers believed it turned into a heavier obligation than expected. In a world where celebrity finances get analyzed non-stop, this moment landed hard. Reports from major outlets noted Tyler Perry's cool, reserved tone in later interviews, where he brushed off questions and said there was nothing to clarify. Some online viewers believed the silence hinted at long-running frustration tied to unresolved financial expectations, though nothing was officially confirmed. Online discussion quickly escalated, with unverified claims floating around large dollar figures, numbers that supporters dismissed as exaggerated media talk. Others pointed to past public connections as signs the relationship still carried meaning. At the same time, financial analysts highlighted how the Montecito property's value has climbed beyond earlier estimates, turning the home itself into a powerful point of leverage in public opinion. Industry insiders suggested the couple's early stay at Perry's Beverly Hills home in 2020 was meant as short-term support during a chaotic transition. What started as a stabilizing move, some observers say, slowly became part of a much more complex financial arrangement. Stress and money have a way of changing dynamics fast, even in strong alliances. Perry's public comments marked a clear shift in tone. That radio moment matched earlier interviews where warmth faded and answers stayed brief. Social media lit up instantly, with reactions ranging from sympathy to sharp scrutiny. 9 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, tennis courts, rose gardens, and wide Pacific views, the Montecito estate looked like a major arrival. The property symbolized a fresh start, far removed from old pressures, but public records and industry chatter suggests the financial setup was far more complex. Documents showed a mortgage around $9.5 million, while observers noted that additional private support may have filled the gaps. According to widely discussed accounts, Tyler Perry played a key role early on. When the couple relocated from Canada, Perry opened his Beverly Hills home, offering privacy and stability during a high-pressure transition. He later described the gesture as empathy-driven, though some insiders believe that support eventually evolved into a significant financial arrangement tied to securing the mansion. At the time, it was reportedly viewed as trust between close allies, not a formal transaction. But as months passed, repayments appeared to slow, expenses increased, and expected business momentum didn't fully materialize. Media analysts pointed to Perry's noticeably distant tone in a late 2024 interview, where he avoided elaboration and quickly closed the topic. Some online viewers believe the silence hinted at long-running frustration tied to unresolved financial expectations, though nothing was officially confirmed. Speculation escalated online, with unverified figures, which supporters dismissed as exaggerated narratives. Still, financial experts focused on one clear fact: the property's value has climbed past $20 million, turning it into a powerful point of leverage. Even nearby residents reportedly raised concerns about ongoing upkeep, rising costs, and frequent maintenance issues, with some outlets casually labeling the property as unlucky. Natural challenges and constant repairs added steady pressure, quietly increasing expenses behind the scenes, and the numbers were anything but small. Reports suggested annual property taxes climbed past $200,000, while security and staffing costs added another layer of strain. those recurring bills slowly chipped away at resources. Online forums exploded with theories about hidden obligations, including extreme and unverified claims, but major financial publications pushed back, estimating the couple's overall net worth at around $60 million, which eased some of the louder panic. Still, questions lingered. Observers noted a clear shift from institutional support to relying on private Hollywood connections, and public remarks from Tyler Perry turned private concerns into open discussion online. Commentary spread fast, with critics demanding clarity while others called the narrative overblown. The mortgage structure itself drew attention, with reports highlighting how aggressively future earnings were leveraged amid rising interest rates. Long-term sustainability became a real talking point. Perry's role, once praised publicly, now appeared more distant, and insiders suggested goodwill may have been stretched thin. Whether fair or not, public perception shifted quickly. In a city where image drives everything, Tyler Perry's public move was seen by some observers as just one thread in a much wider financial picture. According to online discussion and industry chatter, the Montecito purchase didn't come together easily, with claims that a mix of private backers helped support the California lifestyle. Estimates of the property's value ranged widely, and whispers suggested borrowed funds may have come from multiple high-profile connections. One anonymous industry source told entertainment outlets that a tech figure allegedly contributed funding with expectations of future collaborations that never fully formed. Another report suggested a veteran producer helped cover early transaction costs in exchange for potential creative opportunities. When those expectations didn't play out, interest in the arrangement reportedly cooled fast. Unlike traditional bank loans, these were described as informal, relationship-based agreements built on trust in the Sussex brand. That brand once mixed fame, media momentum, and high visibility. By mid-2025, however, financial analysts noted signs of heavy leverage, including refinanced mortgages and credit tied to projected media payouts. Despite estimates placing overall net worth near $60 million, Montecito Living carried steep, ongoing costs. Some outlets circulated unverified figures tied to Perry, while others pushed back, calling those numbers inflated. Supportive publications emphasized financial independence, but analysts still questioned the patchwork funding approach. What once felt like a safety net began to feel restrictive as projects underperformed and scrutiny increased. Pressure built from multiple directions, and Tyler Perry's public move didn't just express personal frustration, it appeared to encourage wider discussion. Around the same time, reports of staff reductions at Archwell circulated, signaling tighter operations amid rising expenses. High security costs, ongoing property upkeep, and stalled media deals added to concerns about sustainability. Online debate stayed intense, with some viewers dismissing the worry, while others believed unresolved obligations still existed beneath the surface. What became clear was that the financial story wasn't finished, and the strain was becoming harder to ignore. Reports also pointed to a large settlement connected to Prince Harry that helped short-term liquidity, but long-term costs continued to climb. In Hollywood, where momentum can shift overnight, this reliance on layered funding exposed real vulnerability. As one project slowed, others followed, weakening confidence and cooling expectations. Archwell, launched in 2020 with ambitious goals tied to media and social impact, faced questions after tax filings showed expenses rising sharply in 2024 while incoming support declined. Commentary from financial reporters highlighted high operating costs, frequent staffing changes, and the challenge of maintaining scale. Regulatory matters from that period were reportedly addressed, though reviews continued, according to major news outlets. Media partnerships also faced hurdles. The Harry and Meghan docuseries opened strong, reportedly pulling around 81.6 million viewing hours, but later releases told a tougher story. Follow-up projects drew far less attention, with one lifestyle-focused series ranking well outside the top tier during its launch window, according to industry reports. Despite public statements in late 2025 saying new projects were still moving forward, doubts quickly spread across entertainment circles. Industry analysts weren't fully convinced. Morning show coverage noted contract extensions announced in August 2025, yet financial publications still labeled overall performance as underwhelming, citing much lower viewing totals for key titles. Those shortfalls mattered, especially as revenue slowed during a period when major financial obligations were reportedly coming due. Business media quoted insiders suggesting audiences struggled to connect with the content, describing it as out of sync with broader economic pressures. At the same time, reports of high operating costs tied to other ventures added to the strain. Online chatter grew louder, blending speculation with concern as steady income became less predictable. Tyler Perry's demand surfaced during this dry spell, sharpening the contrast between early promise and present reality. Executives from past media partners publicly acknowledged that some deals failed to gain traction, while critics pointed to overextension. Issues that were later addressed still appeared to attract broader regulatory attention. Public filings reviewed by nonprofit watchdogs pointed to unpaid costs nearing $800,000, while civic engagement groups raised questions about financial reporting practices. Online channels amplified dramatic claims that accounting professionals pushed back on, but despite disputes, the conversation kept growing. In December 2025, Archwell announced a shift toward fiscal sponsorship, according to The Hollywood Reporter, describing it as a move to streamline operations and improve oversight. Even so, spokespersons acknowledged that staff reductions were unavoidable. Newsweek cited estimates of losses ranging from $1 million to $9 million, adding to concerns. Auditors reportedly examined tax deductions connected to the Montecito property, questioning whether personal and organizational expenses were clearly separated. Once presented as both a residence and operational base, the estate now sat at the center of increased scrutiny. Former staff interviews shared by entertainment outlets described rushed decisions, fast spending, and disagreements over professional guidance, though these accounts remain one-sided and unverified. Reviews, record requests, and tighter controls were said to be slowing access to funds, directly affecting the ability to resolve outstanding financial obligations. Public statements from the Sussex team framed the changes as normal restructuring and compliance-related stress. Online critics, however, demanded deeper review, while supporters argued the transition reflected standard nonprofit evolution. Official spokespeople have firmly denied any wrongdoing, stressing that all rules and requirements are being followed. Still, public attention hasn't faded, slowing progress and deepening uncertainty. Since stepping back from royal duties in 2020, long-standing financial safety nets disappeared. BBC News confirmed that support linked to the Duchy of Cornwall ended, along with formal security arrangements and traditional royal resources. Self-funding quickly became the new reality. At the same time, several high-profile projects openly criticized royal institutions, a move UK commentators say may have distanced potential private supporters who preferred to stay out of the spotlight. Senior royals reportedly set clear boundaries by 2025, focusing on institutional stability rather than reconciliation, and any hopes of quiet backing gradually faded as financial pressures grew. What once looked like independence increasingly felt like isolation. Without royal support, obligations tied to Hollywood connections stood out more sharply, and observers noted rising pressure as new financial commitments replaced old support systems. Monitoring from palace circles of public actions and media moves reportedly added further strain. Now, a 30-day deadline hangs over Montecito. What started as a private disagreement risks becoming a very public legal dispute. Online speculation claims detailed records exist outlining financial arrangements, though figures being shared vary widely and remain disputed. Some analysts argue higher estimates may be exaggerated, while others suggest lower totals. Experts warn that if legal action moves forward, privacy could quickly erode. Reviews could expose financial structures, assets, and private agreements. Combined with ongoing nonprofit restructuring reviews and reported losses highlighted by Newsweek and The Hollywood Reporter, the situation looks increasingly complex. Financial pressure continues to build, and contract renewals now appear uncertain. According to entertainment reporters, Tyler Perry's position isn't being framed as personal emotion, but as a matter of accountability. Sources quoted by international outlets suggest he's drawing a clear boundary in an industry where informal favors often linger without resolution, and his stance has remained firm. The Sussex camp has offered no public response. No statements, no clarification, only silence, which has fueled non-stop online speculation. Social platforms buzz with theories about behind-the-scenes negotiations or efforts to unlock tied-up assets. Analysts note that a formal dispute could remove privacy fast, exposing financial structures that were never meant for public view. Online discussion has surged since early December, with many predicting 2026 could bring major disclosures. Talk of the Montecito property being used as leverage continues to circulate, though nothing has been confirmed. For now, there's an uneasy pause. A gamble valued anywhere from $14 million to $65 million, built on confidence, ocean views, and carefully crafted image, now faces relentless costs. LA Magazine noted annual property taxes alone topping $200,000, while ongoing upkeep added steady pressure. Reports from outlets like Radar Online and the Daily Mail described staff reductions at Archewell as losses mounted and cost-cutting became unavoidable. When the numbers stop working, the shine fades fast. What once looked like glamour now reads more like a cautionary tale, a Hollywood dream colliding with financial reality. Questions swirl about what comes next: asset sales, future media income, or a drawn-out legal process that risks deeper exposure in an industry that moves on quickly. Coverage suggests royal leadership remains focused on institutional stability, not stepping in. This moment isn't just about money, it's about legacy. The promise was independence and empowerment, but the reality looks far more complicated and expensive. As deadlines approach, silence can only last so long. If you've got thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown gave you a new perspective, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more deep dives, share it with someone who needs to see it, and I'll catch you on the next one.